Mitch rides a bike too, and he's right up there too.
Yeah, but he likes
you know
it.
What I mean? Yeah, he rides everywhere though.
No,
he
likes it. Mitch gets off from his prostate being jangled around while he goes biking on a dirt road. Well, we're back here on the Skimbo Lounge. This week's show is brought to you by the Horsey Ranch. It is Central Vermont's number one legal brothel. Come on down and meet the friendly staff at the Horsey Ranch. They'll fuck you and the horse you rode in on. And, of course, I am Alex.
And I am Rory, as always. That's interesting.
Did you like that? That's what we've been reduced to.
I've got more questions than answers right now.
Well, you offended the people
horses.
at MeUndies, so guess what?
Great.
Just
great.
Be a part of the solution or you're part of the problem, Rory.
I'd prefer in that situation to be part of the problem, I think.
Well.
But that's just me.
We'd
glass half empty kind of guy on this one.
Yeah. On this one?
Fuck you.
We have a great episode for you today. We both drank water at the same time. That's a sign. If that's not a positive sign about what's coming, I don't know what is. Should we just jump right in, Rory?
I think so. Got a guest with us here today.
We do. We have a guest.
For anyone who was listening on the last pod, I called out old Tanner Acebo, and he rose to the call, and he's here quietly trying to crack a beer, but he's going to fail.
I'm here. And it is so good to be back.
Ah, yes, we've missed you.
Thank you for the challenge. And what a challenge it was.
It was really tough. I did not have fun. For those of you who are joining us from this episode and didn't watch the last one, dicks, I challenged Tanner to finish watching Love is Blind with me because I didn't do it all this time. I had not touched it. It's the worst show ever. I watched the first episode because we said we were gonna watch them and review them, and I just couldn't do it. So I was like, I got to do it all at once, and it was like the worst 10 hours out of my life ever.
I told you.
I could have learned Spanish. I could have learned how to sail a boat. I mean, in theory, we are supposed to be staying inside. There's so many things I could have done with that time. I could have masturbated. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Look at how much time I wasted on this. It hurts.
That's a lot of time.
It's the kind of show that was built so that you could double up on your binging and your masturbating. And if you didn't take advantage of that, that's not the show's fault.
I didn't think about it at all.
You son of a bitch.
The layer effect.
Well, hindsight's 20/20.
Well, I have a question before we really jump in here.
Yeah.
Rory, why, since we all know noted asshole of the pod, Jeff, was the one who put this evil on us.
Yes.
Because he texted me one night and he goes, buddy, you got to watch Love is Blind. And I was like, you know me, I'll try anything once. I said, hey, Rory, want to watch Love is Blind? We watched one episode and it was an absolute train wreck.
It was the worst thing I've seen in a long time. And I watch movies. I watched a movie today about an AI that goes rogue. What a novel concept. I watch bad films. It had Wesley Snipes in it. And it was made so long ago, you can forgive it, 2017.
Ah, yes, the before time. But if Jeff's the one that put this on us, how come the gauntlet was thrown to Tanner?
Because I knew he would hate it. See, Jeff's going to come on here and go, I watched it 3 times. It was my 3rd go through. I really like the dichotomy between the two couples. I just don't want... No. I needed someone who was going to be on the same page with us about this being, the Everest of bad shit to watch. And Tanner and me used to get down on watching real crap. We watched The Room together. We watched...
Yes, Battlefield Earth.
So many Dutch angles.
And you guys were talking Battlefield Earth last episode, and I was just like, yes, Dutch angles, yes.
Every single time.
I was listening, and it popped me.
It's funny because I had someone watch the film and he was like, what is a Dutch angle? And I was like, well, it's when they tilt the camera on its side, basically. So it's like a diamond.
This whole thing.
And the first thing he said to me was, oh my God, there's another. And it changed. There's another. Oh my God, I can't unsee it.
They just keep coming.
And there's that one wipe transition that they do over and over again. It wipes from the middle out. The whole movie, it's all the one transition.
Where did the money go?
On Battlefield Earth?
Yeah, it was incredibly
Covering up
expensive
John
film.
Travolta's homosexual relationships with masseuses.
Yeah.
Just throwing money at people.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did. Oh my God.
Mr. Hubbard. Oh, we have fun here on Scientology's #1 podcast, the Skimbo Lounge, a
they
subsidiary
love us.
of Sea Org.
I can't wait
Friends
for
of
the
Scientology.
All right.
So where do we want to start with in terms of the dive on of it here? Like, do we want to talk about the characters, the show itself, the premise at first?
We definitely need to go over the premise a little bit. We got to refresh everybody. I'm not going to force them to watch this show. I'm sure people. Obviously, some of our viewers still I like it.
Tanner, why don't you bring us up to speed? You tell us. You're the guest here. You have the roles first.
Yeah.
I've got the Wikipedia page up here.
All right.
Because I was doing a little research earlier. I take this stuff seriously.
Return of the Engineer.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. So it follows 30 men and women hoping to find love for 10 days in a speed dating format. The men and women date each other in different pods where they can talk to each other but not see each other. And the whole point of it is, over this 10-day window, they want some guys to propose to people that they haven't seen before. That's the whole Love is Blind. And then the next, so let's say you propose on a Wednesday. On Thursday, you'd get to see your fiance for the first time.
Holy
And
shit.
they ship you to, and then they ship you to Mexico.
You're missing a leg.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well,
When she came out on those crutches, I got to say, I was a little disappointed.
Well, Rory,
they could have tipped me off.
I got to ask you, are all the people on the show, would you say, attractive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they pick of varying types. There's somebody for everybody, kind of a thing. A real cornucopia of hotness.
Sure.
They have their conventional hots, their unconventionals. The person who's going to be just a crazy, horrible mess. It's all there. They've got everything that any reality show you've ever seen. Hot people,
thank
not
you
so
for
hot
that
people.
part right there. Every reality show you've ever seen. I can't believe anyone went on this show in good faith and said, I'm going to try to honestly see if love really is blind. Because that stupid asshole knows deep down in his or her heart that there is no chance they're getting paired up with an ugly person on a reality TV dating show. Yeah. It's not going to fucking happen.
Maybe in 2019 or 2018, whenever they filmed this, they were like, "We're gonna fuck some people.
It's
and
gonna
make them look like real pieces of shit." Well,
but everyone rotates through, so everybody would get. Let's say there are 2 uggos.
Yes,
as
generous term.
Yeah, as people would say. Everybody speed dated.
Yeah.
Them at least once. You know what I mean? So the opportunity was there. They might not know. They're like, hey, this person's like, I just love Skinnerd. And all of a sudden, your heart is just beating and you're proposing. You're already down on one knee.
I didn't realize Pete was missing an eye. That was surprising. I'm telling you, season 2, they can go in all kinds of things.
Season 2, that's what's going to happen because the outcry for the show was like, well, I don't understand why they don't have. The 2 big complaints were, I don't understand why they don't have LGBTQ representation. And it's like,
they did.
Because you'd have to have, they had the bisexual guy, Carlton, a.k.a. Black Dandy.
It's not enough. I understand.
But you know what I mean? It would wicked throw off the metrics because it would be like, you'd have to quadruple the cast. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have men and women, and now you have to have men who like men who like women who like women who like men, sort them somehow, and get that. How do you follow all the different plot lines? It'd be very mathematically complicated. It's not homophobia, it's math.
You can do the fucking the same version of it. I don't care. I'll probably hate it just as much.
There's already they confirmed it for 2 more seasons already.
Oh yeah.
I just want for season 2 it to be all gay guys and all lesbians, and they're just like, I didn't like that every step of the way. I don't think this is gonna change anything for me. That sounds like fun.
But that's
to me.
gonna be season 2. Is they're gonna like they've heard the opposition and they're like, okay, well, I think we need to push the concept of is love blind more, and it's gonna be like a dude coming out, like a spina bifida dude on a skateboard coming out with his hands. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna throw 1 or 2 of those in there.
Well, yeah,
Like
who's
some
that
acid
guy?
victims? Is that what you're thinking?
Was that show 90 Day Fiancé or whatever? That guy that's like a meme everywhere now. You know the guy I'm talking about? The guy's got like no neck.
Oh, he's super sweaty.
He gets-
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, you haven't seen that. Well, you
I live in a cave.
gotta get your meme game up. But like that, like that show's kind of similar to that. Like how like that girl was like a smoke show, and he is the cretin from Under the Bridge, and like they had to interact. Like they were forced to interact. I'm sure it's very compelling television.
Tammy and the Bridge Troll.
Well, and like I
Write that
don't
down.
want to
That's a
say that
sitcom.
Tammy and Bridgie. The show, I found it compelling at times, like very, like I don't know, and I guess that would be the production value besides the music.
Oh yeah, every song sounded exactly the same. Like it was the
Dude.
kind of thing where when you walk into a club and you go, "I've made a huge mistake."
The
That's what I
music
think of when I
was
think-
the soundtrack to a suicide headache.
It's the worst
Yeah,
thing
it-
ever. It was like
And
watching
it was
The Hills.
just like, it was like 4 or 5 words each time. It would just be like bling 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 bling, love on the rocks, bling.
there was
and it just
that,
like
then there
fades
was,
out,
like,
and it's like
the-
that's not even a song. That's a snippet. What is that?
yeah. There was that, and there's the "I'm gonna make it" dance beat. Is what I was trying to.
Yeah.
I was what I'm calling it. You know, it's just like we're gonna go.
Plucky wisdom from someone with a high school education. Like that's
Yes,
what that riff
that's the riff. That was the wedding day riff for all of them, with that same establishing shot of the SUV pulling up. That was absolutely that music.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it, yeah. we're gonna-
What a fucking. So, how many of them? It was 6 couples. They end up pairing off.
started with 6 very briefly. Our first
Very
couple to
briefly.
flame out was Carlton and Diamond.
Yeah.
Well, also, not to jump in too much, but there were other couples that they didn't follow.
Yes.
There were other couples that split before their weddings, including the Rory guy who was always in there giving advice to all his boys. I was always
Oh.
curious.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the other story?
So
But
because-
he apparently was engaged. I guess the showrunners didn't expect this many people to get engaged, so they probably just picked the most attractive ones or the ones that they thought had the highest drama. They were
no,
like,
dude.
we were expecting 1 or 2,
Did they,
not 14 or however many there were.
Did they end up like just being like, okay, you guys could fuck off though, or did they let them go through the process? You know what I mean?
I think they
Those
just
other
got. I
people
read
out
the
there in
same thing. I
Cancun?
think they just got turned loose.
They got turned loose.
Yay, that's the experiment.
Yeah.
Okay, get out.
You found love. Yay. Bye.
As we were preparing to go to Mexico, the leads of the show came in and said, "Hey, we were expecting maybe 1 or 2 engagements. The shows we've done before, we've never had this much success. We prepared for 5. Then we got 8, so we had to pick who we were going to follow. So they gave them their phones back, thanked them graciously, and said, "We're sorry, we just don't have enough to cover everybody."
I'm not hot enough. Can I at least do a confessional?
Put me back in the pod.
I want to go back to the pod.
Oh, the going back to the pod. That's a very common theme across a couple of relationships on the show.
Yeah.
Is that they're like, we're really not getting along that well face to face in this tiny apartment. Wouldn't it be romantic if we, I don't know, put a wall between us and we talk to each other that way?
Oh, this is much more functional.
Yeah, I want to go back to the pod.
That was brutal. That was when you got to help me with all their names. Gigi.
There were two instances of the wall being used, but yes, Gigi is the first one. The bad conversation.
When she just crushes that man's soul.
That was the
You
thing
saw
of
it
beauty.
leave Damien's body.
That was a special moment.
Yeah. It's so hard.
Especially it's shot so well too because you can see him on the bed in the background as she's saying, like it's again, the production value is so high.
So fucking
It's not just
brutal.
like her saying it and then it cuts to him. Like it's all right there.
You figure they gotta
It's
get
like you're
really good
in-
cameramans for that, right? You've got to get the people who are like, listen, they're gonna fucking scream at you. They're gonna get in your face
Probably
and
the
be like,
Amazing Race
cut this shit.
crew.
Yeah, it had to be someone where they're like, when they tell you to stop, you're gonna keep going. Even if they threaten you, we'll buy another camera. It's okay. Don't lose the footage. You know?
So,
Go on.
did we have favorites? Rory, do you have any? I know who Koch's favorite is.
Like favorite to hate, or like the couple you enjoyed watching,
Well,
or like what?
No, like
what's the metric?
You've got. I would say that you might have the most negative outlook on the show of all of us. So
You don't say.
Really?
I'm just wondering,
What an
like,
experiment.
was there any couple you were rooting for? Or was there any
No.
person you were rooting for, or anything like that?
I'd say-
even in the slightest way.
If I was rooting for anyone, it was the Virgin, because this all felt like weathered course for him, anyways.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the one guy at the
The
beginning
editing
who
on
didn't
that
make
moment was magic, where it was just the guy
Yeah,
be like,
again,
is anyone amongst us a
production.
virgin? And the camera goes to an unrelated dude just
it hangs on him.
tight. He just looks around like, why is that fucking pointed at me?
And they did that reality show thing where, like, big moments, they, like, stretch out for, like, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't happen this
Yeah.
slow in the moment, but we got to get all our camera shots in. So it's like, yeah, anybody here a virgin? And it's like, shot, 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 shot. Music turns up a little bit. Guy raises his hand.
I am. You're like, whoa! Yeah, it was a little much. You're absolutely right. But I'd say if I was rooting for anybody, like if I have to put it on, it was Barnett and what's her name?
Amber.
Amber. You know why? Because they seemed
Really?
like they seemed like of anybody not to give a fuck.
That's an excellent point.
As this whole thing's going on, they're the only people who are like joking and bullshitting and having a good time. So I'm sitting there going, maybe they're just not taking it seriously, or maybe they're just they just gelled well. But other than that, the rest of the show is just dramatic bullshit to the point where, like, if I was any of those people, I'd be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. This is not gonna happen. So if anybody, I guess it was those two, because they just didn't seem to give a shit.
And those are
And
the
I
two
appreciate
people
that.
I would have pegged in life, maybe not more than Jessica, who we'll talk about, but
Oh, my
The
God.
whole section.
I would have pegged Barnett and Amber to be the two you would have hated the most.
Oh, but
Yeah,
like
me
I
too.
loved hating it. It's like, I'd say they didn't give
That's
a
a
fuck.
weird algorithm.
The Amber chick looked like at any point she was going to kick the shit out of the girl we're going to talk about, Jessica. And
Yes.
that's the biggest letdown of the whole show, is that she didn't kick the fucking shit out of this chick. At any point, it's very disappointing. So that's why I was really upset with the show. But it seemed like if anybody was going to make a scene that was like possibly justified, because we'll get into, again, this Jessica chick was trying to get this guy kind of while she was engaged to this. She just did shitty things the
Doing
whole
shady
fucking
shit.
show.
Well, okay, if we're going to dissect the whole Jessica thing, we got to go back to, because first she was all into our guy Mark, sweet Mark,
Gentle Mark.
and then she was in to Barnett, and then Barnett told her that he was going to propose to her, essentially. So she burns Matt,
What a shitty thing to do. Again,
and then
go
gets
Barnett.
burned by she burns Matt, but then gets burned by Barnett in this weird, like, revolving door of, I can't believe I'm watching this happen on my TV. And
What the
then
fuck, dude?
somehow Mark defies all logic and goes, you know what? I want to put a ring on that. She doesn't sound crazy in the slightest.
I hope, it's the most, again, that's, if you want to talk about the couple I hated the most, it's like that guy and her. Because him, even though, like, the whole time he's just like, I'm going to respect you, and, like, I know I'm young. Because he was 24 and she was 30-something.
Yeah.
And so the whole show, she's like, he doesn't
She was,
understand.
quote, she was air quotes 34.
Yeah.
I don't think she's
40.
that young.
She's 40.
Yeah, dude. That's
100%.
like that. There's no way she's 34. Like, we're not far from that age.
Yeah. That's a fair point.
She ain't that.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
She's-
you never know,
she's
man.
40 years
She
old.
could have just smoked cigarettes through her 20s, though. And just come out.
Valid point.
She could have been a rough 34.
Now the meth years took some.
Jesus.
So he just is the kind of the nice submissive guy.
It was what he was looking for. That's fine. You know, if he was just like, I want a girl who's going to emotionally abuse me for the rest of my life, and I'm into that.
They were hung up on such superficial shit. It was like, I want to raise my family in the church. I love Italian beef. I named my dog Peyton Hester. Like,
There's all this stuff
Yeah.
where you sit there and you go, oh, wow, they are kind of compatible. And then it gets down to like every single second that they put her with anyone else besides him, and even with him, she's just like, I just don't know. I'm just not sure.
Yeah,
I just don't.
She's just like around the corner, being like, I love him, but like, do I want to marry him?
Every second of the show.
Yeah.
The whole fun. And then there's like 1, 2, 3 times when she is at him, she's like, I just love you so much. Like, leads him, like, baits the hook. Let me draw you just a little bit closer to thinking that this is going to work out. Every single, I love you so much. And then she goes back to that other guy, Barnett, and is just like, but are you happy? Is it like going to work out between you two? But like, she's like definitely leading him to be like, I made a mistake and I want to be with you instead, because that's what she wants. You know, the second he was like, I don't think I want to ask you to marry me. She's just like, son of a, like, she's fucking pissed.
She snapped.
she went and got
snapped.
hammered drunk and hunted Amber down and
God.
was like, just to let you know, he's a fuck boy.
Yeah.
And just
Said
like,
all this shit
that
about him.
was. And also, he was still with LC, correct?
she was still in the
LC
mix,
was in the
yeah.
mix because it came down to Amber and LC in an emotional, stirring final segment.
well, Rory, you made a really good point about Barnett, his whole philosophy to the game.
Yeah, he was just fucking, he was hedging his bets, man. He was playing the game.
yeah.
Waiting for the hottest one.
Yeah. He was looking for the hot hand, and when he found out that she was all in, he pushed his chips right on. Said goodbye to the other two. Oh, shit, sorry.
Oh, poor LC.
It's savage when he's like, LC, that's why I'm not choosing you. And it's just like, you can feel the air get sucked out of the pod. I want to go back to the pod.
Submerge me in the dating goo.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy to think about. And then you watch this Jessica chick go back to the guy. She was already kind of like, nah, no. But she wanted to stay in the game. So she goes on. You know what? I wonder what kind of advantage these, like, all of these people are probably massive on social media now.
Oh, yeah. I followed
that's a good
Giannina
point.
and Amber.
Of course you did. Case in fucking point.
They're at $1 million each if you care.
I was going to
wouldn't-
ask.
Yeah.
What does that translate into? Because at that point, Instagram's coming to you and
Theoretical
going,
dollars?
No, it does. Who was it? It was fucking that stupid Kardashian, whichever one. The
You'll
Jenner.
have to be
What's
more
it-
specific.
Yeah.
What's the Jenner? What's that chick's name? Kendall
Kylie?
Jenner? Kylie Jenner? I don't know. One of the Jenners, the young whatever one, has like a massive Instagram following. And she made like $1 million off of a post, off of an ad that she did for like some company. And just like, because she got so many fucking likes and she got a percentage and she made...
Yeah, they're influencers now.
Yeah.
They
Like,
make
that's
a
their
ton of
brand,
money
is that
because of
they're-
the ad revenue they bring to those things. So,
I mean-
they're making money now. They're making money off of their celebrity. But they are.
Well, also what was interesting to me, and I get that like privacy needs to happen and stuff, but like everyone's careers were kept so vague on the show.
Oh, yeah.
With the exception of Barnett, because at one point she's like, he works in construction, he's an engineer, he's been working crazy hours lately. That's the biggest glimpse you get into any of like the real...
Yeah. Well, and
Like,
you know
what
they
they do.
probably said all that stuff, and it was probably an editing decision is what I assumed. Because that shit has to come up. I mean, they got pretty serious in the month before they got married. You got to go over a lot of shit.
Well, dude, they also
this is being incredibly sarcastic.
When they filmed the dates, they were in there for like 18 hours at a whack. They were like day in, day out, just like cycling through all these people for these dates. They would spend like up to 18-hour filming days just talking to people.
Jesus Christ.
So
That's pretty fucking
everything came up, I'm sure. And somehow they showed us the most boring shit ever.
Yeah.
Well, how does it work? Like when you're like, I don't want to date that person again. Like, do you like check a thing?
There's gotta
off?
be.
You know what I mean?
know.
There's got to be.
Because like, what if someone was like, sweet, I'm just gonna fuck around and live in this sick house and eat all of this really dope food. Because that's the other thing on this show is they're always eating crazy fucking food wherever they are.
Yeah.
Oh, you're at this resort in Mexico, 19-star dining. Oh, we set you up in these flats in Atlanta. Don't worry, gourmet takeout every night. And then fucking wet blanket Damien guy gets the executive chef.
Oh my God, yeah.
It makes me wonder, did he pay for that or did the show pay for that? Show had to pay for it.
Well,
I think he paid for it because Amber mentioned the alterations to her
I was
wedding
just
dress.
about to say, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I bet all this...
Yes, I totally remember that part.
I mean, I watched it like a couple hours ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, I'll be fair, I drank through a lot of the show. I watched it, but I tried to put it behind me. As soon as this is over, I'm going to hit myself in the head a couple of times and hopefully I forget.
But back to our sweet boy Mark. There's a moment that happens with him and Jessica that stuck out to me that could be an instance of when her feet began getting cold. When
oh, really? Only one, you say?
Yeah, they went on that dumb horseback ride.
Yeah.
And they had the fucking cheese picnic with the weird drapery behind them in the middle of the fucking woods.
And what was the weirdest thing? I was like,
so romantic.
What a weird thing, man. I was like, this wasn't done for lighting.
He like eats something and he's like, oh my God, that's so potent. Holy cow. Oh. And she's like, what is it? Which one? And he's like, that one. And she eats some and she goes, that's just blue cheese.
Yeah.
And it's like, Mark, you're showing your hand a bit, my friend. A bit of a rube in the cheese game.
You didn't pick these out. The producers did.
Oh, man.
And she runs into the arms of the cameraman.
Yes, you love me, don't you?
Tanner, who was your favorite?
Oh, man. It's difficult because I had two couples that I was actually pulling for. Like I didn't think they were bad people or anything like that. Like some of the other people had some pretty shady shit happened at some point or another over the course of the show. But I liked Lauren and Cameron.
Yep.
And I liked Kelly and Kenny until that bitch broke my boy Kenny's heart at the altar.
Let's just get into it then if we're going to start talking about the altar. But yeah, go on and continue about that because that's a really weird,
the Kenny and Kelly.
Their whole saga is a weird...
They were America's couple. They were the all-American couple.
Well, you know what the thing was?
There was like no drama between them whatsoever.
No.
Yeah, which made them not compelling television.
I knew it at a certain point, though. They gave certain tells where she was like, he's just not the type of guy I'm normally attracted to. And she said it several times. Like the first time you're like, oh, he's unconventionally attractive, for your type. You're going with it though because he's such a great guy. Because they seem to get along the whole fucking way. Of any one of them, like you don't see them fight a ton, like not a ton really goes on there. It's really honestly uncompelling shit.
Yeah.
Until the end,
and that's why,
she's just like
they don't get a ton of screen time.
Nope.
Over as a couple. Over they're shown a lot in those group settings with the group dates and like all that stuff, but they don't.
That's because all of their dates are like, honey, did you do the Sunday crossword? Ooh, I did. Were you hoping to do that? Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it though. Smooches. Cut the scene.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Go
here's
to
the thing.
glasses breaking at Jessica's house.
I get if they're not compatible, you know what I mean? But she dragged it all the way to the fucking altar. That's the part. I didn't know until this moment. Fuck you.
But do you know the
Bullshit.
hot editing tip behind that though?
What?
Kenny, our boy Kenny, later came out and said, Yeah, actually, the two of us knew pretty early on we weren't actually going to go through with the wedding, but the producers kind of like insisted that we go along like we were.
Surprise!
So we did, which is why you get that
just
weak
like
ass.
that, of course.
Yeah.
Terrible storyline.
Well, you get the popcorn fart, and then you also
Uncompelling
get
shit.
like when he addresses everyone at the end, like that. All of a sudden,
Makes him seem like
You
a
know,
real
makes a
stand-up
lot-
guy.
it does. Yeah, it makes him. I mean, and I'm sure that like out of all of these people, he's probably one of the most stand-up-y guys. Like he wasn't there to, fuck around and play a game.
Well, here's the thing, though. Minus points for Kenny, though, if he didn't tell all his friends and family that that's what's going down. Because they probably were like, oh, shit, and then afterwards, like, fuck you, man.
You
put
can't
us,
tell them anything. You sign an NDA. You can't tell them anything about the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of shitty to be like, I brought my mom and dad out here thinking I was going to get married in this crazy thing and that I'd found love and then I got left at the altar. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're planning that shit, that's some Andy Kaufman level humor. But
Yeah.
if you're doing it
I'm
for a
gonna use
reality
this for
show,
my demo reel.
Yeah.
This is gonna kill on late night.
I don't think that was the case.
Fuck you,
know?
Ashton Kutcher. Who's punked now,
I got this.
asshole?
I got this new bit where I get left at the altar, then address everyone.
You just
Goes off like a fucking whiz bang.
You see him hanging out with Michael Showalter later. You're like, oh,
Okay,
I
now
get it.
okay. He's digitally added into the next season of Wild American Summer. Yeah, Kenny, what's up, man?
fuck, honestly, that'd be fucking brilliant.
Kenny's doing donuts.
Donut.
But so yeah, like, and then you get Lauren and Cameron. They get engaged early. They get engaged early on, so they kind of go out of the way for a while. We don't see or hear from them for a little bit.
They're
but
very functional too. They're like
they're super functional people. It's really, you just kind of sit there and you go, they tried to, like, the thing that pisses me off about reality shows, they take sometimes non-dramatic moments and add that little like kind of sound where you're like, nothing's going on there. You're just trying, like,
Or like a heartbeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the most uncomfortable part of this is the audio editor who decided, like, whatever technician was like, this is a good idea. We're going to throw this thing in there. You suck. Worst times ever. Like, just use, like, there's probably so much fucking footage. They could have made it seem more tense.
But it's
it
about,
always comes out, it's like, if you're going to marry my daughter, you got to know some things.
and then it's like, yeah. She's great.
But I give you my blessing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
know a couple
great.
things.
and then it just
She's
cuts
awesome
to like
and I
the
love
happy
her.
strings.
Yeah, exactly. yeah.
Yeah.
First, I was nervous that Lauren's dad was going to think I was a stupid dipshit. Thankfully, that was not the case.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I did that for her mom, thankfully, I did my hip hop routine in front of the mom and not in front of the dad at his obvious place of business,
Yeah.
which is a fucking recording
Studio.
Can you
studio.
imagine?
When I saw that, I was like, oh, God, tread carefully.
Dad.
Oh, my God.
Can I call
Ask
you
him,
dad?
if you're going to ask him anything, ask him about his workstation. Do something like that, like
Yeah, that'd be the way to go about it.
anything, yeah. What DAW do you use? This is fucking cool shit. Anyways, man, I'm marrying your daughter.
Okay, bye.
Okay, see you later.
All right, see you later, man.
Jumps out the window. Then I would have loved the show. Just like crazy shit happens. I know it's scripted, I know that shit happens.
Well,
I didn't realize
it's-
it was that far where they like, these people realized they weren't, in love with each other, but the producer's like, fuck it, go with it. Wouldn't it have been more interesting if they had broken up,
They probably had the resources invested in it and everything, and I don't know. That could be like a production. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
we've already booked the venue. Like we got to recoup these funds. We got to put on the sham of a wedding.
That's true. It's a good point. I still stand by my comment that they should have jumped out more windows. That's just me, though.
Well, there's always the second season.
Yeah.
Season 2, window jumpers.
Oh, please. Please
Please give them more money for a music budget this time.
Oh my God! Please do.
Koch, some highlights of your girl, Gigi.
Giannina Milady Gibelli, is that to whom you are referring?
Yeah, Milady.
Oh.
Her mom's name is Milady, and it's her middle name.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, she's perfect.
What was the thing that most surprised you about Giannina, Koch?
I
What
I was trying to trap him.
What surprised me the most about Giannina
Yeah.
How much I wanted to choke to death on her underwear.
I almost did a spit take. I had beer in my mouth.
If I'm being honest, if I'm being completely honest.
No, well done. Well, I did not
So
see that coming.
You're taken by Milady.
Oh,
I'm
Milady made
starting
me
to
my
wonder
lord.
if that was your favorite.
Yeah, dude, she's a spoiled, rotten little brat, and it does it for me.
Okay.
She could make me. She's also super hot. I mean, come on. Let's not ignore the
already been
obvious.
over this.
When they're at that dinner and he's like being the wet blanket that he is, and he's like, I'll start standing up for myself, blah blah, and she just starts looking at her phone. I was like, yes, amazing, incredible. Right after they had talked about the phone stuff for forever, and they got past it, and he's like, I really think that we should be, and she just goes to the old phone and starts swiping.
Yeah, he just doesn't get that she was the kind of chick who wanted to get yelled at and then go do naughty stuff.
She wanted
I'm sorry,
passion.
yeah.
She wanted passion, and this dude was a robot.
She wanted them to be intense, and he had that problem that some people have where he didn't see the stupid little fight that they could have had. That was just supposed to be like a thing where then it ends with, okay then, okay. What were we yelling about? I don't know. Like, just,
Yeah.
Why aren't
let's
we
get
naked
some
yet?
dessert. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then it just, I am dessert, she says, and then off you go. But instead, he was like, he took it like she'd be talking about something, and he took it to like a really mean place, and then she took it to real mean fucking place, and then somehow they still ended up okay. I don't fucking.
Well, again, air quotes okay. Air quotes okay.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
Like, he's like telling her to not say goddamn and stuff. Dude, you were on. Let's be real. Like, let's really pull back the curtain here. You went into this weird fucking dating show that's basically just about strangers banging. It's basically what it's about.
Isn't that what every reality show is about? Strangers banging.
And he's like, you say GD too much.
Yeah.
I'm just stressed out about work. Well, what's your work like? I don't want to talk about it. Storms away.
Boo. Yeah, not great. Not great stuff.
You don't get to sit around and be morose when you got a babe like that hanging out with you. You don't get to just fucking mull about, moping like fucking Eeyore. Good for her for always asking him, because she's like, shouldn't you be happier with me? Like, isn't this a good thing? Just the vacation's gonna end sometime soon. Yeah, dickhead. You're
point.
lying on a mattress on the front of a yacht in the fucking Gulf of Mexico, and you're like, damn it, my work's gonna be hell when I get home.
And then she asks about work, and then you don't want to talk about it, so she gets pissed off at you.
Yeah, and then she brings it up. She's like, wait, tell me more about it.
Yeah.
In kind of a standoffish, aggressive way, her certain little way of being like, I'm interested in things, but it's actually like, you're a dickhead, tell me.
Yeah, let's be fair. When you said earlier that she was kind of crazy, like... Yeah, she would go like they would fucking shout at one another, but I mean he wouldn't shout. He said mean shit, and then she would yell at him. Why don't you tell him how it ended for those two?
Koch, why don't you?
It's your
Why
favorite.
don't you tell us? Yeah.
Well, it's my favorite, but
What else are we missing?
she's my favorite. I have like little to no context for their journey other than this guy is my rival for her affection, and
paying
I would
attention
eat
at
out
all,
of
were you?
I would eat out of a dog dish if she told me to. She could burn me with cigarettes. She could call me an ugly woman and watch me whack off. There's your Adam Sandler reference for you.
So you just
But, like-
saw everything that he did as just like
I agreed with her on everything, even if she was dead wrong.
Just the principle.
you would have just
Well,
fallen right over, is what you're saying.
You put me with a girl like that, we'll burn this world to ashes.
The real kicker of that is that, like, on their wedding day and everything, she's like super fun, and she sends him a little card with some booze in it and some socks.
Little booties.
Don't get cold feet. And then they showed him putting the socks on, and I was like, oh no.
Yep.
This is what we would call foreshadowing,
What
I
a
believe, in the
misdirect.
world of theater.
And then if that were me, if I were in Damien's position, the gift I would give her would be a pair of vibrating underwear to wear during the ceremony. So,
I do.
You know.
What if Damien came out only wearing the sock, Red Hot Chili Peppers style, for the ceremony?
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. Just felt right.
The other one's up my ass, if anyone cares.
The producer's
Well, and
very upset
again-
because you're supposed to bleach your asshole.
Again, did we ever meet Damien's parents? They blew them off for the meet and greet deal. Were
yeah.
they at the wedding? Were
I
they
think
there?
they were, but they also told Damien, don't marry some whore off a reality TV show.
Damn it, Damien.
So I think they were not super participatory.
We don't care how
they
hot
were
she
not
is.
signing up for the confessionals.
And then the dad sees Giannina and he's like, oh, what the fuck? I support this 1,000,000%.
Yeah, that'd be a great bit.
Sends him a
That'd be
picture.
great- Son, this is your life we're talking about. She walks in. Oh my God, have a great life, son. You're going to have the best life.
Have a
Your
great
life is
time,
fucking
son.
meaningless. It just began now.
Yeah.
That's
you
great,
aren't
guys.
even before today, you were not Damien.
He just cheers
Now,
in the crowd.
Son, I want you to know that I respect you more than I respect any other man.
Well, you know,
And
my
I
dad
intend
was in
to
the
kill
war.
myself when this wedding is over.
It's great.
Well, to fill in what Alex cannot see through his walls of hate for Damien,
It's
he
walls
says
of
no.
lust for Giannina.
He says no
Yeah.
to. He leaves her at the altar. He says no. She says yes. He says no. It cuts to her mom and dad and stepdad, and the hint of murder is in the air.
Sort of stoic readiness from the dad. Just like, he will die.
Yeah, exactly. And so then she runs away. She falls down on her bum, gets her wedding dress all dirty.
Oh, yes, right on her bum.
Has the powwow with her mom. They come back. They go to talk, and she's like, "We're going to talk." And I'm like, "Oh no, he is dead. They need a witness in there beside, because she'll kill the crew too."
Mistake one.
She'll-
He was still there when she got back.
Yeah, she'll choke the crew out with the coax cable and kill the guy with his own headphones. She pulls a chair out and she like violently puts it on the ground, and then she pulls another one out and she goes, "Sit." And he goes over and grabs it, but he makes sure to pull it just a little bit away from her to be out of reach of any flying elbows or punches or legs.
What the fuck? Just immediately. She's got a knife. Camera crew just immediately drops
Yeah.
it. Jesus, let go of me.
It'd be like that episode of Cheaters. Where he got stabbed on the boat. The host of Cheaters. Hey, scumbag!
Oh, he stabbed me.
I'm so and so from Cheaters, and you're caught. Stab.
Yep. Stabbed. Wow. I think that's when they started scripting that shit, like for real.
I think everybody that was doing reality TV back then were like, okay, let's
step
eliminate
back.
the stabbing aspect of.
They just all sat around for a meeting. It's like, I think we can all agree we're here for money. No one really cares if Tom was cheating or not. What they cared about was making the money. And that guy got stabbed for it.
You guys, 9
Straight up stab.
stabbings on live TV is 8 too many for us to keep this show afloat. We got to start tighter scripts.
He's starting to look like a pincushion, guys. You're on Cheers. Ah!
But then they get back together. Spoiler alert, I watched some of the reunion show.
Yep.
Some. They get back together.
Yeah. Which, again, I wonder if that's for show.
They're still together as of May 2020.
Yep. They're
Because
still on
this-
the Instagram together.
Because this, the bane of Alex's existence.
Believe me.
Interesting that you know that.
They got married in November of 2018. The couples that got married were
Yeah.
married in November of 2018.
Oh, wow.
And then May 2020, it looks like, is when they filmed the. Would they have done the reunion? No, they would have done it before that. But
no.
looks like there's some article out.
I assume they did it before the outbreak. I didn't see any masks, and they were all pretty tight together.
Yeah, People did an article in one of their magazines recently that talks about them. If you're not shipping Lauren Speed and Cameron Hamilton, did you even watch Netflix's Love is Blind?
Aggressive.
I guess not. I guess not. So
They're happily married, able to open up to people about their experience.
Great. I'm so proud of them.
Well, I guess I have a question for you, Rory.
Yeah.
Is love blind?
Apparently not, because we saw some examples where they were just like, yeah, no, this isn't going to work out between us. So I think love is I mean, when they all raised their hand at the end, I was like, bullshit. We just saw it. We just watched the show. We all know.
Half
really,
of you
Jessica?
couldn't possibly believe
Really,
this.
Jessica, you're raising your hand? Really? I'm sure that Barnett and Amber's love would have worked out great if one of them been a dog face.
Well, also, Jessica, speaking of dogs, Jessica casually gave her dog the wine. Oh, she loves it.
Yeah.
That's really bad. That's really bad for dogs. That's very toxic.
Yeah.
Grapes are highly toxic for dogs. How fucking stupid can you be?
That's a really great
she
fucking
loves it.
point.
She loves it. That should have been fire, like, alarms going off in Mark's head,
Yeah.
but he doesn't even know what the fuck blue cheese is, so I doubt he's up to date on his fucking grape dog science.
Oh. Yeah, dude, I hadn't even thought of that, to be honest. Wow. That's again, added negative points to a woman I already pretty much hated.
Oh, Jessica. Who wants to give us the sermon on Jessica? Who's got bars on Jessica?
I mean, like...
You both look dead as I ask you that.
It's just, I feel like there's nothing else to say after I hate her. What other mean things can I say about a person? I said earlier today when we were talking about the pod and discussing, like, I think we said something about another season or something, and I mentioned her getting thrown into a wood chipper. So I don't think there's a whole heck of a lot more I can say that's going to be much more mean than that.
That's fair. I'll accept that.
I get that it's a reality show. You know what I mean? And apparently some of them took it seriously, though, and came out the other end and are, if we're to believe what they say, you know. And so her path was downright destructive. Yeah, and you can't tell. I mean, I don't know if that other Mark, he was 24, which, you know, for that kind of thing is honestly somewhat naive, especially to have dragged it out that long. I want to know their story, the real thing going on if the producers came to them and they're like, yeah, just keep dragging it out till the end, because I got a feeling Jessica probably got that and then was like, I'm just going to fucking party and say and do what I want because it's good TV and they'll give me a lot of airtime and that'll translate afterwards. In which case, you know, I get it. You have your one moment on reality TV. You got your 15 minutes, but Jesus Christ, lady, she's hoping out that they do like Real World Road Rules Extreme Challenge down the road, where like these people meet up with the people from Hot No Fuck Island, and they all get together for some long. And who's going up the aggro crag this week on Love Is Kind of What's Love Got to Do with It? Like what the fuck? That's there. You got one, Koch.
It's like I don't watch a lot of reality TV, but you always like see, and like especially when reality TV was really hot and you had talking head shows like Best Week Ever and stuff like that, where shows would like spoof and give you clips and you would see the villains. It was mostly they'd make fun of the villains and stuff. So I know like that archetype or whatever. Like there's always one character who just wants to watch the world burn on these shows, but like she really took that idea and ran with it in just like the reckless abandon. When she was wasted in the bed and she told Mark how hot Barnett was, like that's not like that's I have done
really
some bad things.
Shit.
I've done some unforgivable things in drunken arguments, turning on Garth Brooks very loudly, which my girlfriend hates, but it got the point across. I've done stuff like that, okay?
Old Chris Gaines?
No, not Chris Gaines. I don't even know the Chris Gaines songs. I will not listen to the Chris Gaines. As far as I know, Chris Gaines doesn't exist.
You love Chris
Rory,
Gaines.
those are two completely different people.
Yeah, I'm talking about Garth Brooks, Rory, not Chris Gaines. There's no soul patch on Gart. Chris Gaines has that jet black soul patch. Anyway.
Easy to put on.
She, just glue it there. She just like tried to be the victim in everything as she was also being the villain. It was a very weird, like, she would do something. Yeah, she would do something outrageous, and then be like, oh no, I'm worried that she doesn't like me because I'm obviously hitting on her fiance in front of her.
I'm just like
I don't
trying to
understand.
make him realize that he did the wrong thing, you stupid piece of shit.
Yeah, the stuff at the end when they're in the complex and him and her have that little meetup down in the patio, that was like, okay, she really is the worst. Like, there were a lot of bad things that happened, feeding the wine to the dog, whatever, but like that, where if he had said yes, he'd been like, yeah, I was wrong, I want to go with you. She would be pursuing it. She would just leave Mark by the wayside.
Oh yeah, 100%. It'd be over and done with. And I wonder what the show would have done.
She probably just would never speak to Mark again. She'd probably just hop over to Barnett, and Mark would be fucking dead to her.
Yep. Absolutely.
But then she'd be dead because Amber would slit her throat. So
yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm so disappointed they never fought each other. Why couldn't they just fight each other? Smack her, do something. She deserved it.
It made a lot more sense on the reunion show when Amber was like, after watching the show, I got some shit I want to say to you, you bitch. Like, so like, I probably in the moment they, like they were drinking a lot. You know what I mean? Like they're having conversations around. She wasn't seeing a close-up shot of two mic'd up people interacting that we then all got to see.
And she was like, fair, probably interacting with some other person from the show as well. And so you're sitting there being like, she's super trusting.
Going on. Yeah. And on the show, she's like, I'm not worried about her. She's not going to take my man. I'm way hotter than she is. All facts. And
yep.
So like she's like, fuck it. She can talk to him till the fucking cows come home. I don't care. He's not going to dump me for her. And she's right. And then she sees the footage and it's like, oh, like, because she wasn't there when they had the little meetup down on the patio.
I'm just going to take my earrings out. We're just going to talk. We're just going to talk.
Yeah.
You just see her a couple of seasons later and she's just got a big scar right across her face. Again, I assume that like there's going to be like more seasons. They're like, we'll bring people back.
They'll bring them back. They'll do the thing reality TV loves to do. Well, they'll bring back they'll probably bring back Lauren and Cameron to give advice to the couples. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
Like, how did we make it work? Yep.
It'll be like,
or
when they're
more likely Amber and Barnett because they're better TV.
They just come back and they're both chain smoking.
When they're like get all together in Mexico. Yeah. Just like, we both picked this up.
Just happened.
Barnett's smoking 5 at once.
You could only get these here. Yeah. When the producer said, "Do you want to come down and mentor the next cat?" We were like, "Get those little funny yellow cigarettes?" Abso-fucking-lutely. So here we are. Anyway, what do you guys want to know about being married? I've gained 20 pounds.
Love and cherish, whatever.
Well, and I don't know if we're nearing the end of this conversation or not, but there's one thing that you both brought up to me, which was very pragmatic about the Amber Barnett deal, is that she had all that debt. She had all that student debt. She had the makeup credit card debt.
Yeah. Which
she didn't have a job, essentially.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know if she had a job when the thing came back. Did she?
Yeah, like, no, we're led to believe that she didn't because, like, Barnett's like, I don't even know what she does all day. She's like, I drank a whole bottle of red wine and looked at dresses. And he's like, that sounds like a great day. Like, he clearly has just worked a very long, demanding day. He's like, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds like she became a kept lady from old six-figure Barnett there. I don't know.
Moneybags Barnett.
I don't know. Is he living that high on the hog?
If you're a manager for a construction company, that's a major construction company, yeah.
Well, we saw we saw the house.
He's an engineer. Doesn't matter.
He's a construction engineer
in Atlanta.
A lot of engineering down there.
He's a 27-year-old engineer
with his own house in Atlanta in 2018. I think that, we don't know.
But I don't think anything about that house screams six figures,
It's, again, we don't know what neighborhood in Atlanta it was in. We don't know what neighborhood that was in. It could have been some plain old shit, but...
Cameron's house screams, I'm rich.
Yeah.
Cameron, that's fair.
Yeah.
Cameron's house said, I make good money. He also looks like you know what I mean? Like you look at that guy and you're like, success. That's like what success looks like. Like he had like the little hair.
Pulling down cash.
Crimp here, the little flimp, and he had the fucking nice sculpted
I had the
beard
kind of time
deal.
to worry about what my hair looks like, yeah.
Yeah, we're also all corn
sons of
fucked right
bitches.
now.
Yeah, we all look like, again, bridge trolls is what I would
Yeah.
describe us as. Yeah.
I gotta trim my
I'm going to
mustache
ask
because it
some
keeps getting in my
riddles.
food.
The old flavor saver.
I keep getting bits
gotta-
of macaroni in there.
It's probably time to shave. I might shave a little bit. Might do it. Cut some of this.
Cool.
leg.
Glad all you guys that can grow facial hair are just gonna throw that the fuck away.
We can mail
you
it to
just,
you and you can glue it to your face.
Send me your pubes and I'll do it.
The Aaron
Listen, I
McGee.
challenge you to just start growing it out. Do it. Just start growing your facial hair out. Get that neared going.
Me?
Yes.
Dude, people look at me and they're like, that guy is, I don't know what he has, but he's sick. He's really sick. Look at
he
his
doesn't-
neck.
He doesn't have much time left.
That's a look I would cultivate, though. You don't understand.
He looks
His
like someone that
fucking
needs to go back to
thyroid
the
is the
pod.
size of a softball. I want to go back to the pod.
Let him go back to the pod.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way
I
to
think-
cap it off, but
There's a way
I
to
can't
cap
say
it.
anything
Amber said she's never cooked a steak before. That was said. In any form or fashion, she said she's never cooked a steak before. Like,
Well,
if
I
you're
don't know,
afraid, just
I'd-
cut it up into tips. Just cut it up into steak tips. Throw it.
I'm
in
just
a
saying,
pan.
I am the worst chef in the world, and I've had some run-ins with steaks over the years of my life. I'm not the Salt Bae with the fucking steak, but I know how to I've cooked. I'd say over 40 steaks. I don't know. Steak stats. They got steak
you heard
tracker.
it here first, folks.
Stare at him.
At
those
least
are
40
cooking.
steaks.
Tanner's steak stats are off the charts.
Yeah, disregard those first couple ones when I was younger and didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Tartar.
Tanner, do you believe love is blind?
Um,
Don't lie now.
in the sense of the show or the sense of the term? The show didn't make me think. That
I'm
love was
being an
blind.
asshole, so don't
No,
overthink
I know,
it.
because that's how they ended every fucking wedding. They were like, and now the moment we've all been waiting for is
So
love
shitty.
blind. And it's like, damn it, we got it after the first one. You don't have to hit us over the head with this frying pan of a catchphrase. We don't need it. The show's
And yet
fucking
here
called
we are
it. We get
podcasting
it.
about it.
Yeah, we're talking
This is
about
your
it. I
fault.
watched it. You got me, you fucks. Damn it, Nick Lachey. You did it to me again, you fuck.
It wasn't even as good as that old show with him and Jessica Simpson because she would just say the dumbest. Is chicken really the tuna or whatever?
Yeah,
what was
well,
that fucking
yeah,
phrase she said? What was it? Is tuna the chicken of the sea? or
Chicken of the
something like
sea,
that?
yeah, but it's on
is
land.
it really? He was like, Jesus Christ! What a shock!
That show was
didn't
much
last.
more lighthearted. If they had done like the divorce years of that probably would be
been
more on par with
incredible.
Love is Blind. But that show was pretty lighthearted and tame, I would say,
Your Honor,
compared
I'd just like say
to
that she's a
Kenny
bitch.
again. Kenny presumably getting his heart ripped out. I mean, it must have still
Yeah.
stung a little bit.
Well, again, I'm a little negative on Kenny now just for putting his family through that kind of shit. You know, that's just not great. It's not a great thing to
But
do.
if
I
it's
just
Hey,
think
that's television,
but if
baby.
it's in the NDA,
I think of my mom when I think of that, and I go, "What would my mom think if I brought my family to an altar for a reality show to marry someone, and then she left me at the altar, and I had known it was all fixed?" Because I feel like that would upset my mom a little bit.
That's a quick, yeah, she'd be upset, but that's a quick conversation after the fact off camera, and then you move on
Yeah,
with
but that
your
doesn't
life. Like,
stop
that's-
What if that's the moment where Gampy has a heart attack? It just hits him right there.
You don't let people with heart conditions into a reality wedding. Rule number 1.
Turns out
They
Uncle
can't-
Ron
you
was
never
an
know what's gonna
empath,
happen.
and he just gets crushed.
No, you can't bring faint of heart people into the reality wedding.
They just didn't know.
Someone with a heart condition, Gigi
Rory, I think
walks
you
out
just
in
look
that
at your
dress,
mom
they're
and you-
keeling over.
They just wink at her.
Oh.
Edit it out, assholes.
Yeah, great production value. Use it, dicks.
I'd look at the camera all the
Well.
time if I was in a show like that. It's time to go to bed. Wink.
But is love blind?
Yeah, ruin it for them. Please stop saying that, says Nick Lachey.
No,
I won't, Nick. I won't until you guys do.
Guys, really, can we cut the cameras for a second? Yeah, guys, please.
Rory, stop looking at the camera. You gotta quit doing that. Why'd you bring 2 Rorys on the show? Is what I would have asked them.
It's confusing enough.
You pieces of shit. Hi, I'm Rory. I already saw you today. No. Other Rory.
No, that's you
other
saw the
Rory.
other guy.
Oh, are you the well-adjusted one or the video game one?
I'm
video
the-
game
Concepts aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
That's my reality show. Love and
Knew I shouldn't
Tom.
have talked
and
about Zelda.
everybody's named Tom, and they're all in pods. Who
Love
am
is
I talking
Tom.
to? It's Tom. Which
Tom.
Tom? Commercial.
Cut to the end. The priest is like, and now the question we've all been waiting for: is love Tom?
Guy puts a gun in his mouth.
Yeah.
I quit my job for this.
As a general manager, just general manager.
Just managing general stuff, you know.
That's Damien, just general manager.
I looked up his organization. It's something in Atlanta that's like, let's bring cardio kickboxing to underprivileged youths or something like that.
Oh, fun.
Of course it is.
So
What a good dude.
Damn it.
I'll have no
reality show.
problem beating him in a Kumite type situation for Gigi's
Well,
love.
if he's doing fucking cardio shit, man, kickboxing and shit. That's when you just go there. You just Indiana Jones his ass. You let him do all the fancy moves, and then you just gotta waste him.
Armbar. Put him in an armbar. You bring a knife.
Armbar.
I bet kickboxing doesn't stop me.
Kickboxing.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do?
Do a little kickboxing.
I'm gonna bring my mom's taser.
That's what
I'm
they
gonna
call it
turn it
in the
on and I'm gonna toss it to him,
Catch.
and that's how I take him out. He's here, catch. Oh fuck! He just grabs it with both hands.
That's actually a thing, you know. There's like extreme fighting leagues where they go at each other with tasers and shit. Weird shit. Internet's a dark place, everybody.
That's very disturbing.
Yeah.
Well, Tanner, you'll notice I sent you an email during this
Oh, how
it's an
exciting.
email.
That's good pod.
from one of our sponsors.
I've got it right. I've got it
Gonna
pulled up
need-
right here.
Great.
I'm gonna need you to read the whole thing. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, God.
Whenever you're ready.
So this is just like a straight read through kind of deal. Just
Oh, yeah, go for it.
This is just the copy they gave us. They said have Tanner read this on the show. We'd be honored for Tanner to read this on the show.
We all remember Silly Putty, the non-Newtonian silicone polymer that's hours of wacky fun. Well, now there's Shitty Putty. That's right, Shitty Putty. It's like Silly Putty, but way shittier. Normal Silly Putty bounces, stretches, and glows in the dark. Shitty Putty turns into napalm if you get it wet. Silly Putty can transfer newspaper ink to other surfaces. Shitty Putty will destroy all electronic devices within a 500-foot radius. Silly Putty comes in a convenient plastic egg. Shitty Putty is what comes out of the tumors on lab rats at the KFC test kitchen. Shitty Putty is fun for the whole family. Throw it at the wall, throw it at your dad, but whatever you do, don't get it on the carpet or in your dog's fur. Shitty Putty makes a great gift for unsupervised children with oral fixations. Use Shitty Putty to detonate the charges at your next bank heist, or put it up your ass to draw toxins out of your liver. And best of all, Shitty Putty comes in 9 vibrant colors. And now, for a limited time only, you can get 2, that's right, count them, 2 tubes of Shitty Putty for the price of 1. Use the promo code SHITTYSKIMBO to qualify for free shipping. Supplies are limited. Order now. Piss in the face of science with Shitty Putty.
Thank you, Tanner. That was lovely.
Yeah, great stuff. Great.
I think the sponsors are going to be pleased with that one. That was a
I
very,
hope so.
very sophisticated read.
One day we'll get less desperate sponsors, I hope.
Maybe. Maybe Ridge Wallet will finally start returning my emails.
Great.
I'm just gonna come out and say it because I'm sure it's gonna be obvious to anyone listening to this episode. It's really hard to do like a 3-way conference call podcast recording.
Oh, yeah.
It's so difficult for timing. You know what I mean?
You dive all over each other, or you all take drinks at the same time. And those are
Yeah.
the stupid little
We're all on the
pauses.
same clock.
I feel like I'm going insane. I'm just like, fuck, I'm doing it again. This is my fault.
Oh, I leaned into the skid ways back. You just got to go with it, you know. Plus, the room being in the room, you know, for the past 40 days doesn't help. So, yeah, definitely.
The room
feel
of
a little
days.
crazy.
The day of rooms.
Great.
Ugh.
So, Tanner,
Yes.
it's been a minute since you've been on the show, and we got into this whole Love Is Blind talk. But what have you been up to in these times of woe and murder hornets and MAGA dorks?
Yes,
What-
tell us.
Oh, yeah.
What's your story? Give
The
us your
MAGA
narrative.
Hornets.
Tell the people. Yes.
I've been working from home. The university that I work for, everybody basically, gets sent home when this was going down. So I've still been doing my video stuff, my video work at home. I'm coming to you from the home office right now, which is just my dining room table.
Very exciting.
And yeah, just playing a lot of music lately. Been texting my boys a lot. Playing a lot of
Yes,
NHL
stop, by the way.
online. Yeah, I text too much. And I've just been, trying to go through. I have a ton of movies that I own that I haven't seen. So I took them all out of my bookshelf and stacked them all up as like a statue of my incompetence, if you will. So I'm slowly chipping away at those
That's a good word, I think, for it,
compiling
yeah,
and
incompetence.
compiling a list.
Cool.
Most
What do you mean, like,
recently,
in terms of-
I watched Whiplash.
Oh,
So,
give us your
like-
1-minute review of Whiplash.
A+ movie, fantastic. If you played in like concert band or jazz band in high school or really at any level, it's worth watching just for that alone. But then there's like the acting performances. Miles Teller doesn't really do it for me. As an actor, he didn't really, flip the switch for me, but like he did a good enough job, which is fine. But like he was like J.K. Simmons is the real fucking maestro of that. No pun intended.
J.K.
but
Simmons
yeah.
is great, and yeah,
You'll learn a lot about music. I think if you're not a musician too, there's like some subtleties in there that like I don't know. Like it's not what I was expecting.
that's exactly how I felt about Pitch Perfect.
yeah. Pitch Perfect. It's pretty subtle. They don't do a lot of stuff on the nose.
That Rebel Wilson, she doesn't run out of vagina jokes anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'll
Just
tell
like
you that.
Anna Kendrick, okay?
No, Anna Kendrick's great, but
I'm
but no,
sorry, I
yeah,
wanted to
Whiplash,
railroad you.
great move, great fucking movie. Amazing twist at the end, compelling, dramatic. One of those movies that doesn't need bang bang guns, boom boom explosions to be compelling. It's just about characters, and it's very like realistic. So
Well, you heard it here. It
Yeah.
would have been more compelling with explosions and guns.
yeah,
Because
if
it was
every
without,
third
so
time,
obviously
Teller.
it would have been more.
Well, if they had done a game where, like, when he's rotating the drummers around in one of the scenes, and it's like, hey, it's like pretty much Russian roulette. The bass drum's going to explode with one of you playing it, but nobody knows until someone gets it right.
You're right. That would
It's
have
just
been
the
better,
deer hunter
yeah.
now.
Yeah, exactly. The deer hunt.
Wow.
Drum
Goes
now.
off, takes them all out. Oh, I put too much C4 in that drum, he says. Oops.
Too much shitty putty.
Too much shitty putty in the drum.
But yeah, in Vermont, they are slowly lifting stuff, so like people can begin to gather in groups outdoors again of 10 or smaller, and you can interact with other people again and stuff like that. So
We'll see how it goes.
Hot damn, just in time for me to have no car.
I tell you what they're not doing here. That.
yeah, well, I would expect so.
Well, here's the thing, though. New York
Alex,
is
I will
just
drive.
like-
I will drive and get you.
Would you really?
Yeah,
If they open the Dairy Cream, can we go to Dairy Cream?
Absolutely. And it's not
Wait
if,
for
it's
me.
when.
Will you come pick me up?
The
I want to go to Dairy Cream.
The Pumpkin Pantry already opened.
I want you to just
shit.
get me an ice cream and just leave it in the freezer until I get there.
Rory, what's up? Are you coming back or what?
You know, at this
What
point,
are you prepared to disclose on the show?
I think at this point I am. You know, I'm probably gonna head back maybe sometime late June. I'm thinking, just because the whole job prospect here in New York is about to be abysmal, probably for the next 24 months, and I don't particularly like being on unemployment as is. And I feel like there's a better potential in me finding work possibly back in Vermont, anyways. And I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong, and I could be totally wrong, but my family's back home. I haven't seen my niece yet. It seems like it's going to be even more difficult to travel because I see a second wave coming with this whole coronavirus thing, and I feel like I'd rather be at least close to friends and family rather than out here in New York where people are spreading it like mad because they're incredibly irresponsible. So, yeah, I'm probably going to come back at least for the foreseeable future. May end up back in New York one day, but if I come back home, we have the potential to use some cameras to work on some projects and that sort of thing. And I would love to, get back to doing some more entertainment. And that is not the sort of thing that's going to be happening in New York anytime soon.
Yeah.
Other than if
I would
you're,
say,
a commodity.
True. Very true. And that's the thing is I think that for people who were on the cusp before and weren't headlining at the Comedy Store, that kind of thing. Now's the time. Like the power in the industry is decentralized. If you can make it wherever you are, if you came back to hunker down with your family in St. Louis and you can, come up with something compelling to give people right now, you didn't have to be in New York to do that. It's kind of decentralized how we can go about doing our stuff, because I think that's the most important thing is you need to do it. If you strictly want to be an actor then you got to play the game and you got to go to auditions and you got to hope for that break. But if you take a big picture view of it like we do, where we want to write it, we want to be in it, we want to make it, and then we want to get it out there, you can do that anywhere as long as you're fucking doing it and it's good.
Yeah.
That's our biggest hurdle is we're a bunch of fucking jagaloons.
Well, and doing it ourselves means that I can actually have, possibly a better part than if I'm random guy number 5 on the subway for the next, season of Arliss. I don't know why I picked Arliss.
They're bringing it back, baby.
Wow.
They're bringing it back.
Are they really?
No. Rory just broke the news.
Yeah.
Arliss is back, and he's playing Guy on Subway 2.
Yeah, I said 5, but I didn't want to
oversell
it, so it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, it is.
Can we now
2.
start billing this as star of the Arliss reboot?
I have a line. Do you want to hear it?
What's your hook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My line ready? Mm-hmm. See? Pretty good, huh?
Wow. I felt that in my soul.
Wow.
And, one of the main characters goes, cover your mouth. And I go, sorry. They didn't give me the sorry line. I'm going to ad-lib that.
You're going to explore
hopefully I don't
the
get kicked off the set.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping, yeah.
I'm going to try to ad-lib
I like it. You got to get noticed somehow. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
It's really exciting
I don't know.
times.
I feel like, yeah, we're living in exciting times. I don't know. It's just weird. It's totally fucking weird. So much stuff is gonna change when we come out of this. So much stuff has changed already, but like it doesn't all have to be horrible and negative. All the horrible negative shit is gonna happen, but what we can focus on a microscopic level is just like what makes us happy. Making music, doing podcasts,
fighting around the world,
making shorts, fighting around the world. Do that. Indulge in that now because we just spent 2+ months at home doing fucking nothing. So you see what life can be if you don't go out and try to fucking go for it.
Yeah. So might as well. So we're going to try and, pump out possibly some video content. Ooh, and since we're talking about things ahead, I do believe, hopefully it works out, we're going to have Mr. Robert Bobbled Gaglini on the show, next week. And he's going to be telling us a little bit more about his perspective out there in L.A., hopefully, depending on how comfortable he is with it.
We love
I got
it.
caught in a riot. Any kind of crazy thing. And he also, I think, has been in conversations with somebody who's trying to put on some sort of animated thing. But he'll give us more details on that. I don't want to blow it up too much. But so we're going to have another guest next week. And then I know also friend of the pod, Jeff, has been harassing us a little bit. Please put me on your show. It's so great. I want to talk to you guys.
I need the exposure.
So we might deign to have him on afterwards. And I also want to get friend of the pod, Andy, on at some point. I don't know if we've called him out particularly, but I think it'd be interesting to chat with that sumbitch as well. So we've got some exciting stuff coming up.
Guitar Andy?
Guitar Andy, yeah.
Yeah, his Twitch
we all
streams
just
are
make
great.
spider hands in the air.
Yeah. This guy?
You got to do the squiddly D's, and that's how they know.
So his streams are great. You can go and you can like request for him to play like along to a song. So like he'll like have the song there, and he'll just like shred over it. And I sent him a Cory Wong song. He's like, "Hey Dan, man, I see you out there. Send me a request, bud." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know what to do. How about this Cory Wong song?" He's like, "Dude, you sent me fucking Cory Wong. I'll try." Yeah, I was like, "Damn it, I was trying to be cool, and I was a dick."
I sent you a Gregorian chant.
Yeah, can you do this on the guitar?
Just shred to this. Yeah.
It's very soothing.
All right, no more
I'll
requests
tell you
from Tanner.
what, too. Yeah. We were talking individually earlier, or at least I had individual conversations with you guys about it, but sneaky, underrated podcast guest of the century, Emily Machado.
Oh, that was a really
absolutely.
entertaining episode, yeah, from way back.
Yeah, I listened to it again last night, actually. Real talk.
Oh, no shit.
It's a lot of fun. It's very fun.
And that was a lot of us
It's a
in a
great
room,
episode.
too.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, dude, it sounded like somebody bugged a heroin house or something. Like,
Yeah.
it was just us losing our fucking minds.
Well, I remember like setting it up and everything, and I was like, "Fuck, there's like so many like I remember the middle of that table was just like a sea of
Rat's nest.
XLR, and yeah, it was bad. But that was also recorded on the old Gusto's pregame. We recorded that before we went to
Yes.
Gusto's.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of the rest of that night. Yeah, so it must have been at Gusto's.
Yeah, definitely Gusto's.
Good old Gusto's. America's Gin Mill, don't you know?
They just won an award, actually.
Oh, really? I was going to say, this pod also sponsored by unwilling sponsor, Gusto's.
Gusto's, yeah.
If you didn't want us to reference you, tough, it happened.
They won. They got a plaque. Where is it?
Vermont's
Voted
surliest bar.
Best fucking bar in Barrie, fucking Vermont.
Sounds official.
Hey man, there's a plaque. It's granite because Barrie,
Best
obviously.
fucking bar, Barry fucking
great.
Vermont.
No, that's fun.
How you like that? It's a handsome placard.
And I like it.
That
Because I remember there's
beautiful,
one
that
there's
beautiful
one moment
granite.
on that podcast where Jeff's like, "Oh, the buck hunter." Like you can hear like he
The longing.
yeah, we're like, "Yeah, we're going to Gusto's after this, blah 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 blah." And Jeff's like, "Oh, yeah, the buck hunter."
Got my name up there in the high score. I spelled it ASS.
Yes, classic. Classic.
Yeah, well, you gotta.
What's this guy's initials? Andrew Smith
Alvin
Stevens?
Smith. Oh, I see what he's doing.
Wait a minute. That's a humorous rib.
Yeah, well, maybe we can drag her on one of these episodes if she's got herself the equipment. If not,
I
start
think she'd
buying
do
it.
The beauty of what's happening now is that with everyone like working from home, like the access to like web, like, you know what I mean? Like web chatting, it's all becoming like second nature. So like a lot of people that I know have like good headsets and stuff from like work, and like that's
Yeah.
That's one
it's only
weird
gonna
thing
get better.
about like the whole, the coronavirus and everything is how like business has adapted like to the remote working deal, and like how like Zoom, for instance, has made a ton of money, but their product isn't super awesome. But because Google fucked up their rollout of theirs, they totally missed the window, and Zoom is like the go-to.
Killing it. Yeah.
At my work, we use GoToMeeting.
Yep. That's what I used to use. No, we use Microsoft
I'm sorry,
Teams,
Rory.
I think.
I want to go back to the pod.
I want to go back to the pod. I don't want to go back to the pod. It's fine. I'm over it. It was, again...
Is that the name of this episode, Back to the Pod?
Back
I
to
was
the
going to
pod.
say, what's love got to do with it?
pod.
But I like Back to the Pod. Yeah. Good times.
Hey, Rory, you got your Gmail open?
I can get it open, I guess. It's going to be noisy on this end.
That's okay. I need you to get your Gmail up. Because
All
the
right,
sponsors have sent me
This is the last
another
one, damn it.
another dispatch.
Did you do this
Okay,
while
I'm
we
so-
were here? Did you write this while we were here?
Did I write these? I don't write any of these, dude. These get sent to me and I
there.
delegate them.
Oh, fuck you. All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, Microsoft respects your privacy. No, all right. Don't send.
That's
optional
certainly not
data.
it.
You pieces of shit. All right, let's see. This is gonna be all right. I'm gonna do
your
my
best.
best.
Do your best.
All right, here we go. Everyone ready? Hi, I'm Rory from the Skimbo Lounge. For over 60 years, Doctors Without Borders has provided critical medical care to countries ravaged by war and endemic disease. It is in that spirit. It is in the spirit of that message that I introduce to you Gigolos Without Boundaries. Our mission is simple. I already caught COVID-19 and my doctor gave me the all's clear to start poking strangers again. So if you've been locked in your house for weeks, or months almost, you're vitamin D deficient, and I'm here for a crucial injection of hot beef. Of course, it's got to be first person. The first step is to submit an application to my thirst outreach hotline at chokemedaddytrump.com. Once your request has been processed and your consent agreement signed, I will deploy to your place of residence for a night of no-holds-barred fuck antics. And because I've already recovered from the coronavirus, you don't have to worry about me transmitting that to you. At least. It's like barebacking with a pregnant hooker. It's completely safe to do. Definitely not. But will you? You can't help yourself. I offer a wide array of services, from roleplay to cuckolding, from felching to fisting. Light bulb torture is considered on a case-to-case by basis. I don't do wet work, but scat is on the table, sometimes literally. My rectum is fully insured, and it carries a rare 5-star rating from the Better Business Bureau. And they don't mess around. That's why people trust them. Sexual acts I'm willing to perform include, but are not limited to, the parking garage, the sniffling accountant, the big salad, the little salad, the junior mint, the cigar store Indian, the marble rye, the smelly car, and the great Scatsby. Coincidentally, these are also the titles of my favorite Seinfeld episodes. Contact Gigolos Without Borders today. Sorry, without boundaries today. I hope they don't hit us for that. And discover what hundreds of satisfied customers are explaining to their credit card companies. I'm Roy from the Skimbo Lounge, and I am an essential worker. So bang me an appreciation like pots and pans, baby. Now back to the show. We really got to screen these people. Really got to screen these beforehand. Like,
That's a good... I mean, in a time of dire straits, I think that's exactly what this country needs.
What a service.
Yeah.
I guess I'm providing.
We can hold our heads high because we have the kind of sponsors. Like, other people are going to try to sell you Ridge Wallet or Magic Spoon cereal or MeUndies, but we're doing something like you can do actual good with your money with something like Gigolos Without Boundaries.
And apparently whoring me out.
I don't know. It's just my opinion.
I almost for a moment there had to stop, and I did for a second, but kept going. Choke Me Daddy Trump came through as a hyperlink. And I shudder to think what's on the other side of that.
Why don't you go ahead and click that right now?
Never. I am not getting put on whatever list that gets me on. Suddenly they start sending me emails to support the Republican Party, and I don't want it.
So all of you out there, be sure to go to chokemedaddytrump.com and tell us what's on there, because
I'm not doing it.
We don't want to end up on the list.
Private mode on the old browser.
Now you've embarrassed me. What else is there to do?
How about a word from NordVPN? You know, folks, when you're trying to go to chokemedaddytrump.com,
sometimes you don't want them to know it's you. Lucky VPN.
Welcome to creeper mode. I don't think there's anything left. I think we're probably clear for takeoff here. You know what I'm saying?
Great. Yeah.
Probably
All right.
good to wrap this pony up.
I got a UPS guy just showed up. Looks like he's got several cases of shitty putty for me. So looks like they're already taking care of us.
Oh. Well,
nice.
reap those bounties, my friend.
Remember, no open flames.
Tanner, you have anything you want to plug before we part ways?
There's a hole in the Hoover Dam, and we got to take care of it now. Besides that, no, not really. I lead a sad and sedentary life. I listen to Spotify a lot, so there's that. I like Spotify.
Where can people find your Spotify playlists? Are you willing to divulge that info?
My account's private. No, what's my name? I hope it's not Asio.
Spoiler, it is. It's good pot. It's good pot.
Oh,
right
no. I don't know. Oh, my name is Tanner Acebo. So there's
Yes,
that.
we know. Just
There it is.
Well, there you go. He's got some
look
good
that up.
playlists on there. Go have a look-see.
I have one that
listen to it.
I just got up to 60 songs. It's called The True Meaning of Kibbutz
oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
from Wet Hot American
So
Summer.
listen to that. Or
Oh,
don't.
you know this.
Or do. Or don't. We're not
Matt
your mom.
Cott.
Do what you want.
But yeah,
What about you,
I don't know.
Rory? You
There's
got anything
that.
you want to plug?
No, just we already talked a little bit about who we got coming up here in the future a little bit on the pod, and soon in a couple of weeks I'm going to be back, and so we won't have to deal with this delay anymore. So thanks for
Yes.
sticking with us. If this was like grinding teeth, sorry, you made it.
All right, guys, we're gonna send it home. So until then, until next time, when we see you again, hold you in our arms. Thank you. Go fuck yourselves, and good night.